Hello, this is Sukie from Sukie's Vlogs. No, I've already done a video about chronic fatigue and chronic pain, I think. And I know I've spoken about it briefly in some of my other videos. But today I was hoping to go into a bit more detail about it and about how it's affecting my life at the moment. So yeah. For those who don't know, chronic pain and chronic fatigue. Now, chronic obviously means it's something that's persistent, it's something that's there all the time, and it causes you problems all the time. Fatigue, most of you probably know what that is, but it's kind of like overload on your body, where your body gets overloaded. Most people get fatigue when they've been down the gym for an hour, running on a treadmill and lifting weights. Right, you get a bit of fatigue then. It's where your muscles ache, you get fever, you get sweats, you feel a bit sick and dizzy, and you feel the main symptom is probably tiredness and stuff, but it's a kind of more of an overload than tiredness, really. It's where your body has completely run out of energy. There's no energy left, so your body can't go on, so your body shuts down. Much like a computer crashing when it overheats or gets overloaded, or like a car stopping when it runs out of petrol, I guess. But it is very difficult to deal with. Now, chronic pain, obviously it's pain and it's all over, well, you get it most places, and it's kind of it can last anywhere from a couple of hours to a couple of weeks. It's a constant pain. It's there most of the time. Get a break from it occasionally. Occasionally, if I'm lucky, pain medication will help if I'm lucky. Most of the time it doesn't. I'm finding it very hard to find medications that work because of my other chronic illnesses, such as my Marfan syndrome and the issues I have with my heart because of that and my blood pressure. I find it difficult finding medications that are okay for me to take with that. And where I'm on other medications for my blood pressure and things, I've got to be careful what medications I mix with that. So it's very hard to find medications. So strong medications such as morphine or dihydrocodeine I can't take anymore because it makes me ill, and the morphine causes my blood pressure to rise, which isn't good because, you know, that's very dangerous for my heart. It also makes my body temperature rise, and it makes me very ill, so I can't take that. Dihydrocodeine makes me feel sick and gives me stomach aches, so I can't take that anymore. So things I do take, these I take regularly. I shouldn't take them because they have codeine in them, which is similar but weaker to dihydrocodeine, I think, but this is mixed with paracetamol. Now, they're addictive, they're bad for your heart, they're bad for your blood pressure, so I only take them on occasions where nothing else has worked, so they're kind of a last resort. Things like this I've been told I shouldn't take anymore. Nurofen and ibuprofen, again, not good for the heart or the blood pressure, so I can't take them anymore. So And I've tried things like creams, the Voltarol creams, ibuprofen cream. Now, can't take that at the moment. Voltarol gel is kind of okay. It works a little bit, you know, but it's not great. I usually take it with other pain medication to kind of like supplement them or something. I don't know. So they're not brilliant. So most of the time now I take things like, I take paracetamol, which I take like I'm a kid with a massive bag of candy, you know, which probably isn't good for my health, probably isn't good, but they're better than all the others, and they kind of work, you know. They work better if I can take them before the pain hits. Now that sounds silly, doesn't it? But when I say before the pain hits, if I know I'm going out for the day, walking around and doing lots of activities, I'll pop a couple of these just before I go, so that they're there in my system ready to stop the pain, you know, before the pain gets there, if you know what I mean, if I make sense there. So yeah, those are the main things I take now. But I use things like compression bandages to help with muscle pains and joint pains and stuff. I use support bandages to help support my, and things like support braces to help support my joints. These are quite good, but I mainly use these in the winter. They're heat patches. I find them brilliant, but in the summer I don't really like using them because they make me overheat, which again causes chronic fatigue. So they're only good in the winter. You know, so it's really difficult finding medication. I mean, I've tried stuff like Acti patches, and that kind of worked. It was alright, but then it stopped working. And then I've tried things like herbal remedies, home remedies. I've tried meditation, and I've tried bath soaks and muscle soaks for the bath. I've tried, you name it, I've tried it. And things, there's one thing I haven't tried though, and that's acupuncture. And the reason I haven't tried that is because I have, as I said, I have hypersensitivity in my skin due to Marfan syndrome and some other conditions I have. I also have sensory overload issues due to my ASD, autistic spectrum disorder, that is. So a small needle or pinprick, to everyone else just like little prick, nothing big, it's fine. To me, my brain transfers that to like a massive pain, you know, so that would not help me. It would just cause me more stress and more agony. So I can't try things like that. One thing I have been doing, which my physiotherapist told me to do, and that is a diary, a pain diary. I haven't got many entries in it at the moment, but I've been writing down the days and the times I get the pain, how long I get the pain for, and what type of pain it is, and what type of activities I was doing while I got that pain. Because I find it hard remembering stuff because of the issues from the chronic fatigue. You know, so this is very helpful. I do suggest this to everyone. If you're having trouble with your health and relaying that to a doctor, write it down in a diary. Write a pain diary, fatigue diary, whatever, you know. It's very helpful because it helps you remember stuff. And when you go to the doctor and he's asking you all these questions, you just show him the diary. So then he's better able to see your troubles, and he's better then able to help you. So I do suggest you do that. It's really a good idea. But yeah, with the fatigue, I can't remember if I mentioned it in this video, you get issues with your cognitive abilities, such as that's your thought process and your ability to make and say sentences. It affects your memory as well, your sort of short-term memory, which is tricky. Also, the problem with me with the Asperger's as well, that affects your communication and your cognitive abilities as well. So I'm getting double dose again. And it can be very difficult because I find it hard to relay how I'm feeling because of the Asperger's, and I find it hard to relay what I'm feeling pain-wise and everything because of the fatigue. And it can be very hard talking to doctors and getting across how I feel and things. And also in everyday life it can be difficult, like going to shops, talking to the shop assistants if I need to ask some questions, or talking on the phone to people, or lately I've had to fill out a lot of forms, and doing that I've had to get help with. You know, it's very, very hard relaying how I feel, because mentally I don't know. Mentally I'm confused, and it's like a big fog in my brain, you know. I'm lost in the fog. And it's, you know, this chronic fatigue and chronic pain, it affects me in every aspect of my life. I mean, something as silly as clothes. Wearing clothes affects it. I know that sounds really, really silly, but I get very uncomfortable in my clothes sometimes because of the Asperger's and the hypersensitivity and everything like that. I get uncomfortable. I find clothes uncomfortable sometimes if it's too tight, or, well, it's not too tight, but I think it's too tight. I feel it's too tight. Or if it rubs on my skin a little, even just like the sleeve rubbing there like that, or, you know, stuff like that, just normal stuff. Or if I feel like if one shoe is slightly slightly tighter than the other shoe, you know, things like that, I can feel it, and mentally my brain turns that into pain for some reason. My brain's like turns that into a physical thing, and it's just like, so it can be very hard for me to get dressed in the morning, because sometimes I have to tie my shoes up, then untie them and retie them a few times till I get them correct so that I'm comfortable in them. Otherwise, if I don't, it's just going to cause me agony and pain all day and trouble all day. You know, so, and I've got to change my clothes quite a bit in the mornings. Like, I'll put one shirt on, feel like really uncomfortable in it, feel like it's choking me, feel in pain with it, take it off, put another one on, I get the same thing. So I go through like 4 or 5 shirts before I find one that I'm comfortable in, you know. And it's kind of like a weird process I go through every day if I have to get up and go out. If I don't have to go out, I just stay in my pyjamas, because it's a lot easier and a lot more stressful, because getting up, getting dressed and getting out of the house causes a lot of stress for me. And of course stress then causes the fatigue to flare up. and causes the pain to flare up, because your mental health and your physical health is connected. So if both are messed up, it's going to cause all manner of problems, which it does for me. And going out, it's caused problems for me just doing things like shopping. I can't go out to the shops anymore to do my grocery shopping or clothes shopping, because it's just too knackering and I get too much pain. It's too much activity, too much walking, causing me too much pain. And of course there's too much people out there, which they all talk and they're all making noise. In a busy high street, I get sensory overload now like crazy, and of course then that, my brain transfers that into stress, and then that goes to physical pain, and then I get the fatigue, and it's terrible. And then the fatigue gets so bad sometimes I'll just fall asleep where I'm standing. My brain will just go, no, time to sleep, and I've got no choice in the matter. I've had to cut trips short because of it, you know. I can't go out and hang out with friends anymore like I used to. I used to regularly have my friends over to visit and have little parties and little drinks with them, and go out to like the club with them and drink. Just go out and hang out with my friends. Now I can't, because I can't plan with them. Right, okay, you're free that day, I'm free that day, let's go out that day and do it that day. I can't do that, because when that day comes around, I might be too physically in pain and physically tired and fatigued that I won't be able to get out of bed, and I can't make it to them. So then I feel like I've let them down and everything, which isn't good. And then, so spur of the moment, if like I was to say, right, I feel okay now, I feel fine, why don't we go out today and do something? Of course my friends, they've got jobs, they've got their own families, they've got their own responsibilities to deal with, so they can't drop all that to go, yeah, okay, let's go. So it's really difficult planning time with my friends. And it's got really depressing, and it's kind of, I suffer with anxiety because of it, and I suffer from anxiety because of the ASD, the Asperger's. So the chronic fatigue and chronic pain and what that does to me, that causes that to flare up. And then of course that causes the chronic fatigue and chronic pain to flare up. Everything is connected, and when one thing goes off, all the others go off too, causing a chain reaction. And it's just, some days I just end up just sitting on my butt all day doing nothing, because I can't physically do anything. I want to get up, I want to go out, hang out with my friends, I want to go on a hike, I want to go on a bike ride, I want to do my hobbies and stuff, but I physically can't, and it's just really depressing. And I'm just hoping that the hospital and the doctors figure out pretty soon why it is causing it, because it's not the normal Marfan syndrome pain and fatigue. Because with Marfan syndrome I get pain in the joints, I get fatigue, but it's that kind of pain and fatigue that I can handle. This is, as I said, is another level, and it's different. I feel that it's different. I feel a difference in my body and in my brain. And I'm 29 years old and I feel like I'm 92, or 192, which isn't good, I'm having trouble remembering things. I'm having trouble, I'm just having trouble doing everything, and it's getting oh, it's a struggle. But you know, so I think that's all I've got to say really. But yeah, if any of you have any tips for pain relief or you know, sleeping remedies or what have you, or things you've tried, or if you just want to chat about your chronic pain and chronic fatigue, then comment below this video either on YouTube or on Facebook if you see it. You know, do chat about it. I'm happy to chat to you all about it. You know, I'm struggling a lot with mine, and I do understand it's hard to talk about because you don't want to put people down. You don't want to you know, you don't want to cancel with your friends. You don't want to put your friends out. You don't want to let them down. As well, it's very hard, like, for people, for your friends and your family and for strangers and everything, to understand what you're going through. Because on the outside, to them, you look fine. You know, I've had people say to me, oh, don't be silly. You're not tired. You're fine. Come on, let's go for a walk. Physically, I can't walk. Physically, my legs will not work. And it's just, you know, it's hard to explain to people how I'm feeling. And I don't want to sit there complaining all the time. Oh, I'm in pain. Oh, I'm tired. You know, because that's not fun. You know, I don't want to sit there complaining. But at the same time, I want people to understand how I feel, and I don't want them to judge me and think that I'm lazy, because I'm anything but lazy. You know, so it's hard facing people with this, because I don't want them to judge me, you know, blah de blah. It's just hard. So I just try to put on a smile, you know, and carry on. And that's the way I've been brought up. You know, if you complain about it, complaining's not going to fix it. Whinging and crying's not going to fix it. If you want it to be fixed, you've got to get up and do something about it. Which, that's kind of how I've lived my life. I get up, I fix it, I sort it out. I might complain a little bit, but I'll get it sorted. But this is really hard because it's stopping me from doing that. So I'm just ended up like, ugh, I don't know what to do. I don't know how to fix this, and it's all kind of in the hands of the doctors at the moment. And I've had to start seeking help from charity organisations and things to get me some help at home and get, you know, because it's causing stress for me and it's causing stress for my fiance as well, because he also has mental health issues and suspected Asperger's. He also has issues with his knees and things, so he struggles a bit when I'm going through the meal with all this pain, fatigue, chronic illness. He goes through it as well, because he's got to deal with it. He's got to run around after me, you know, so it causes his mental health issues to flare up as well. So yeah, it's really, really difficult. So I do understand it, and if anyone wants to come chat to me about it, please do. I'm happy to chat. You can private chat or comment on my page or whatever, one of my pages, whatever. But yeah, I think I've gone on a bit on this video, but excuse me, I'm really tired. But yeah, I think I've gone on a bit on this video, so thanks for watching, and that. And oh, do keep an eye out on my awareness channel, my Marfan syndrome awareness channel, because I'm doing a video for that in a bit as well, an interesting video. So please do keep an eye out for that on that channel as well, and please do like and share and subscribe and whatnot and everything. But yeah, thanks for watching. I'm gonna go and have a nap. See you all later. Bye bye.